Powhatan land in which we lived, they were my equal. On the seas to the east, it would be a different matter, but I knew I would never sail to see my brother Footer and the rest of the clan. They were still in my heart, my head and my dreams, but I would never see them in the flesh. The Norns had seen to that. Here I was the shaman of the bear, and the Sneke, Gitta, was considered a magical beast that could fly across the water without the need for paddles. Many men were envious of her, and what they saw was my power. There was a pattern to our life in Brave Eagle's village. The clan with whom we lived, Brave Eagle's clan, suffered as we had done at the hands of the Penobscot. Our vengeance raid to rescue the captives from the Penobscot up the Mahickentuck River had ended that threat, but his clan was one of the smaller clans in the Powhatan tribe. They hunted the lands and they raised crops, but it was my sons and me who sailed to harvest the rivers, and when the weather was benign, the sea. We brought in far more than we would ever need, and so the clan prospered, for there was always food. We were skilled at what we did. We used nets and spears to hunt for fish. The spears were for the larger fish, the hunters of the sea. I was not a fool, and I hunted nothing that was close to the length of the Sneke. When we brought back such bounty, we were hailed as heroes. The birch-bark boats of the clan could sail the seas, but the risks were too high for them to do so and to fish. Most of the time, our fishing expeditions were restricted to the Rappahannock River and the Patawomke. Even Longspear's clan, the largest in the tribe, sometimes went hungry in harsh winters, but not Brave Eagles. By reckoning, counting back the summers since they had been born, Mooseblood had seen more than 15, and Brave Cub 11 or 12. They were now warriors, and Mooseblood would be like his father and have a beard. Their hair was a mixture of their mother's and mine, while their skin showed that they were Norse. Like me, their little sister, Little White Dove, and their younger brother, Golden Bear, it marked us as different. But they were accepted in the clan, and that was because of my reputation and what I had done. I now had the luxury of watching my two sons as they steered and took in the sail or let it out. They were both competent helmsmen. I was almost a man of leisure. The time had gone when I watched them nervously for a mistake. The three of us were also dressed in the same way. Our paler skin meant that we wore tunics made of hide as well as hide leggings. Sadly, my sealskin boots were long gone, and I now wore, as did my sons, moccasins, but they were not as useful as sealskin boots. I had made other changes too from the Viking warrior who had led his people west. I had finally melted down the male Barney. It had become old, and I had doubted that it would stand up to a fight. I melted it down and used the metal to make arrowheads. They were a prized possession of my sons. When I gave gifts to my brother warriors, it was a couple of arrowheads. They were considered more valuable than a golden hoard to the warriors. When they were used for hunting, they struck deeper than the stone or flint ones. We always recovered them. I had left my helmet in case I needed it for war. I kept it in a bag of sand to stop it from rusting. That and my bear skin, one when I had slain the bear on Bear Island, I had kept. They had helped us to rescue the captives taken by the clan of the Hawk. The skin was showing its age, but it marked me as what my new clan called the Bear Shaman. That day, as we sculled around the river, had been a good one. We knew where the fish would bite, and we had a net to catch them. With the wind behind us, we had sailed well upstream, and we were almost ready to turn around, for the well of the Sneke was full of fish when the Norns spun. We were some miles from our home, but the voyage back would be easier, for we would have the current with us. I was amazed at the size of this river, for in places it appeared as wide as a sea. Now, as the tide turned, we would be able to use the power of the river to head south and our home. The rest of Brave Eagle's clan marvelled that we could do so. They could have paddled as far upstream as us, and they could have fished, but they would have been exhausted had they.